I'm convinced that men must conquer.
And people say, Tate, what motivates you? And I find that extremely, I think that's a stupid question. What motivates me? Because I don't want to be a loser. Like, who wants to be a loser? I've always wanted to be rich because I know I deserve to be rich because I see how many stupid people are rich. Look at any rapper and look at any of their interviews and see how low their IQ is. These people are millionaires.
We got a special guest in the building, Tekashi 6ix9ine.
I'm the hottest artist in the city.
So they're a millionaire. I definitely deserve to be a millionaire. So I've always had motivation for the same reason I want to be big and strong and rich. I want to be all these things because I'm me. So I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, "Why are you motivated?" And I said, "Because I don't want to be a loser." And they said, "Yeah, I understand that, but why are you so uncomfortable with the idea of being average loser? And you have to push so hard." So I guess my typical response wasn't enough for him. Why are you so motivated? Don't want to be a loser. Okay, but why didn't you want to be a loser? So I sat there for a little bit, and I thought, what is the reason I have always been so driven my entire life? And it's obviously due to my upbringing, but it's like, what element of my upbringing made me into such a militant individual? What made me so brilliant? From a young age, I was a professional chess player, and then I became a professional kickboxer, and then I became a multimillionaire businessman, blah, blah, blah. Why have I always pushed so hard? And I think one of the key elements to it is because I was always extremely proud of my last name, Tate. And the reason for that is, in the environment I grew up around, whenever the name Tate was said, people put respect on the name. So when I used to go to professional chess tournaments with my father, who was one of the best chess players in the world, people would say, "Oh shit, Tate's here. Oh man, Tate's here. Oh, who's called Tate? Who's playing Tate?" Everyone was scared. And the name invoked fear. The name invoked respect automatically, just the name, Tate. Every time something was happening to me that was difficult or I had a challenge ahead of me, etc., I was motivated with my own last name. So it's like, "Oh, Dad, I'm worried about this," or "Mom, I'm scared about this." They say, "Yeah, but you're a Tate." It's like, "Oh yeah, I am scared, but I am a Tate, so it's okay because I'm a Tate." Even now, even as successful as I am, most people would look and go, "Oh, look at my child, they've done this, they've done this, they've done this." I guarantee as a child I outperformed any of you as children, and I guarantee if you have children, I outperformed your child. This is the reality. I was moved up 3 grades in school, I had one of the highest SAT scores in history, I was a chess champion at age 5, blah, 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 blah. I was a state chess champion in the under 16-year-olds at age 5, the youngest in history. In fact, I remember being 5 years old and playing a whole bunch of 10-year-olds. There's 4 of them on a team against me. I remember sitting there and whooping them all. So I was a genius, child genius, adult genius, whatever. But I was never told, "Oh wow, you're so smart." For me, it was just normal. They're like, "Yeah, you're a Tate." "Oh, they moved me up 3 grades in school." "Well, duh, you're a Tate." Of course. What the fuck else are they gonna do? So for me, achieving things was always very, very normal. And it was always very, very easy in my mind. It was always just like, "Well, duh, of course I achieve things. Of course I'll be world champion. Of course I'll be a millionaire. Of course I can do anything I want." And I always believed I could do anything I want because I'm a Tate. And for me, achieving things is very, very easy. And I was never overtly praised, and my parents were never surprised by my success. A lot of parents are very, very surprised by the success of their children. I'll see it, they go, "He's one of the best in his class." And I'm like, so? He's one of the best, so he's not even the best, of a group of random, 13 random average losers. He's not top 1% in the world of anything. And you're so proud of him, you're going to sit there and go, "Wow, great job, great job." And that's why he's never going to become shit. I'd be embarrassed to have a child which wasn't top 1% in the country, let alone his shitty class. I'd be embarrassed to brag about the things you brag about. They're a bare minimum acceptable standard, and you're proud of it. So one of the main reasons, I guess, I've always been so motivated, one of the reasons my life is so fantastic, because the truth is, I am one of those individuals that have it all. I was born with a genetic gift. I'm tall, caramel, sexy as fuck, rich, I can fight, I'm a genius, I got it all. I was always understanding that, one, my name means something, and I have to live up to my name, and I have to succeed, because when people say the name Tate, it needs to mean something. So just like in the chess halls when the name Tate is said, now in the kickboxing world, if the name Tate is said, people know it means something. You guys are here, if you follow me, and you watch my whole life, etc., etc., etc. If anyone else knows who I am, you say the name Tate, people know. They know what it means something, and I've made it mean something, one. And two, because my successes were always seen as absolutely not really normal. And it was absolutely not really normal for me to succeed beyond all measurable doubt, on any expectations, the average expectations from the average child, or the average person, or the average man. I have always blown out the water without even trying. It's just been easy for me, because this is how I've always been as an individual. So I guess the moral of the story is, I was raised for success. And if you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh, I want to be more motivated, I want to be more motivated, you have two things to do. One, stop being proud of your achievements, which are extremely minor. Oh, look what I did today. What'd you do? Is it actually impressive? Genuinely. The answer is no. One. Because even me in my life, I can if I win a kickboxing world title, okay, I'll be proud of myself. Outside of that, well, I bought a new car. Well, who cares? All the things you're so happy about, all the things you brag about, it's bullshit things. It's things everyone does every day. It's not important. And two, you need to make your name important. You need to make your name important. You have to find a way to invoke a level of respect on your name. The only way you do that, the only way you can possibly do that, is by achieving things that others cannot do.
I give money to beggars and homeless. I don't advertise it because I hate people who do that, because that's not giving money to charity, that's buying attention or buying likes. I constantly get messages from people going, you have money, why don't you give to charity? Maybe I do give to charity, motherfucker. I just don't put it all over social media because I don't see these people on fucking Facebook. You see them, a guy who goes and gives $50 to a homeless guy, and they record the whole thing on GoPros and fucking 5 different angles of camera. And then he walks away and goes, it just feels so good to give, you know, sometimes you gotta give. And then it's shared like fucking 18 million times. He just bought 18 million likes, or 18 million views for $50. That's pretty fucking cheap. That's not charity, that's exploitation. He's exploiting a homeless person to buy fucking likes through fake gratitude and fake virtue. That is bullshit. And people fall for it because they're all fucking stupid.
Hey man, about to get in that 20. Hey, don't buy no crap with that shit, man.
That's why I don't advertise my charitable acts. However, I do give money to charities, and I do give money to homeless people, but I have very specific criteria of the kind of homeless people I give money to. Here's the criteria as follows. If you're a man of working age without a physical disability, you can fuck yourself and get a job. If you come up to my car, I live in Romania, there's beggars around. If you come up to my car, you come up and ask me for money, and you're 25 or 26, you're a dude, there's nothing physically wrong with you. Why can't you get a job? You can't find a job. Everyone can find a job. These are able-bodied men. You can carry bricks, you can pick strawberries, you can do something. Get a fucking job. If you have a disability, if a leg is missing, or you're in a wheelchair or something, and you're a man, fine. If you're a woman and you're on the streets, I'm far more accommodating and nice. But in general, I like to give money to what I call working beggars. So you have beggars who just sit there and beg. And you have beggars who work for it. So in Romania, what you have is, and you have this everywhere, when you stop the car in traffic, they walk up and down in between traffic. And here they walk with a sign and a picture of Jesus saying, help me, Jesus will bless me, and all this bullshit. So the other day I was with some chick riding around BNG, stopped, I looked at my wallet, I only had 100 lei notes, which is about €20. And I gave her the notes. She said, why did you give them so much? She said, I only had big notes, I don't carry small notes, I'm fucking G. Don't ask me stupid questions, or I'll kick you out the car. She's like, oh, sorry, big G, so it's okay. And she goes, yeah, but why did you give him money? I said, because he's working. She goes, what do you mean he's working? He's begging. I said, that is as much of a job as anything else. A lot of these begging, a lot of people see begging as a completely bad thing. Sitting there and completely begging for money is bad. But a lot of this begging is work. If you're going to stand up and walk up and down the lines of traffic every time the cars stop, I consider that a full-time job. That's a job. You ain't sitting there chilling. That is harder than going to an office and sitting in the warm, drinking your coffee on a computer. Someone said to me, Andrew, would you rather have a fixed wage in an office, sitting at your computer, typing away with a cup of coffee, or out in the rain and cold, walking up and down all day in between lines of traffic, praying for the gratitude of others when you may make no money? That's a full-time fucking job. It's just a shit one. That's not begging. Those are the kind of people you should give money to. And while we're on the subject, another group of people who I give money to, you're not going to believe this, are the African scammers who email. Those dudes work hard. if you're going to send 10,000 emails and most people are going to ignore you and a few people are going to reply and make fun of you, you're going to do that all day, every day. That is a full-time office job. I consider that a job. So when I get those emails, I hit them up and say, look, cut the bullshit. You're not a fucking banker, and you're not some hot girl who wants to bang me. You're probably about 17, sitting somewhere in Nigeria in Europe. I'm going to send you $30 if you admit it. Sometimes they come back and say, no, Mr. Date. Bullshit. But a lot of the time they go, yes, please help me. Cool. I'll send you $30. I spoke to one dude, some Nigerian dude worked in a plastic factory. He made $45 a month shifting through plastic. So here's 3 months' wages, sent $150. He's never been so happy. Added me on Facebook. He calls me his brother. Changed his last name on Facebook to my last name. When my dad died, on the anniversary of my dad's death, he did a whole tribute to my dead dad. All this shit for $150. Because he couldn't believe that someone, he told me the truth, and I just sent him money. And when I tell this to people, they go, oh, why though? Why, Tate? Why? They're scamming. They're not scamming. They're fucking working. You try sending 10,000 emails a day and get ignored. That's a full-time fucking job. So, charity should be given, but charity needs to be, you need to be selective with who you give it to. If they're out there, if they're working beggars, as I call them, or if they're working to try and get some money, either through scam emails, or walking up and down between the cars, whatever it is, you can give them something. If they're purely just sitting there like a dickhead, I'm depressed, oh, I've got a drug addiction, I'm depressed, give me money, well, you can fuck yourself, you don't deserve shit.
Right, the lighting's not great for this video, but I have a confession to make, so I'm going to make it. I have a disease, and my disease has led me to steal this Orbit watermelon chewing gum. Despite the fact I have enough money to easily pay for it, I suffer from a disease that makes me steal things. See, I always thought that if you make shit choices in your life, that it's down to you, and you should have some personal responsibility. But I recently found out that addiction is a disease. In light of all the modern bullshit that's going on with all these spoiled cunt celebrities, I had someone explain to me that addiction is a disease. And I said, well, addiction is not a disease because there's a choice you make at the beginning. I don't know a disease on earth where you make a choice at the start, which begins the series of events. If you have an addiction, you make a choice to get up, get dressed, go meet the person who has whatever substance, purchase it, go home, and inject it. There's a whole bunch of choices for the actual act itself. And they said, no, addiction is a disease because it's been shown in their brain that when they withdraw, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure in your brain you can see brain chemicals, you know, obviously certain things you enjoy, and if you miss something, you can measure it. I understand all what you're trying to say. I still do not see how addiction is a disease because there's a choice in the beginning. But they corrected me. They said, no, addiction is a disease, even though there's a choice at the start, because it's very difficult to quit. And if they don't do the whatever activity they're doing, whether it's gambling, whether it's taking drugs, whether it's alcohol, whatever, you can notice in the brain serotonin levels drop, etc., etc. And I said, okay, well, you know what I like? Free shit. I like free stuff. So even though I make the choice to steal, I have a disease because if I don't steal, it's very difficult for me not to because you can measure in my brain that I'm pissed off I haven't got free things. So I started small with my Orbit chewing gum. Well, I actually intend on getting big time. Banks, cars, I don't even know. Whatever. I can do whatever I want. I have a disease. Stealing is officially a disease. If having an addiction is a disease, and the choice to start it completely has nothing to do with your own personal responsibility, and you have absolutely zero part to play because you're ill, well then I'm ill. I'm ill too, and stealing is my affliction. So I want you all to feel sorry for me. So when I go to court, I want all of you to be protesting outside that the judges don't understand that I have a disease. It's not my fault I steal. It's not my fault that I get up, get dressed, go to the place where I'm stealing from, consciously try and hide my action, steal whatever I steal and leave because I have a disease. And I want the entire justice system to reflect that. Like just like with the junkie. Everyone feels sorry for them, they get counseling, millions and millions of dollars are spent trying to rehabilitate these diseased people. That's what I deserve for my stealing. I want exactly the same thing. In fact, if you're a murderer, it's not your fault. It's a disease. Yeah, you made a choice. But if you didn't do it, you may have been unhappy because it really annoyed you. The only way you could think of to satisfy your urge was to fuck them up. So you went and did it. And even though you made a choice at the beginning, it's not your fault.
It's a
Addiction
disease.
is a disease. Stealing is a disease. Anything bad anyone does on earth is disease. None of us are responsible for anything we do. There's zero personal responsibility involved in any of it. We're just feathers in the wind, floating through life, hoping we don't catch some terrible affliction that allows us to steal, not allows, compels us to steal. Orbit watermelon chili.
This guy. This guy is too
I have a PhD, which means I have a hypnosis degree. So basically, I work with lots of women in my job. I've always had lots of women. I've experienced every type of woman. I know the game. I can sit down with a girl and after the first date, I'll tell you inside out if she's girlfriend material, she's a hoe. I can just read it. I just know. I've had every kind, so I understand the game. But all women do the same thing. There's a couple universal traits amongst females, and one of them is how they argue. And women have a very, it's an obvious argument tactic, but they all do it exactly the same. And the tactic is subversion. So with a female, if you have a point to discuss, her aim is not to prove her point right, because she can't, because 99% of the time she's wrong. So her aim is to muddle a point, or switch points, or fuck up the argument, so that it's very difficult for you to lay out a logical answer. If you say 2 + 2 is 4, then she loses the argument. She goes, yeah, but what if the plus, what if it turns to side into times? Or what if it's -4? Or what if, just start adding in irrelevant bullshit. You're like, no, 2 + 2 is 4. In this particular circumstance, 2 + 2 is 4. But her main aim is to subvert, is to just completely and utterly a lot of guys on Twitter say, real men cry, and if women can cry, men can cry too, there's nothing wrong with it. And there absolutely is something wrong with it, and I'll explain to you why. Life as a man is far more difficult than life as a woman. And one of the key components of manhood always has been and always will be, we have the ability to control ourselves and not act emotionally. Females are more emotionally driven, more emotionally impulsive than a good man should be. Saying that I felt like crying so I cried, this makes me a real man, is as stupid as me saying, well, I felt like smashing his face in, so I smashed his face in. This makes me a real man. No, the hallmark of a real man is controlling himself, controlling his emotions, and acting appropriately regardless of how he feels. And throughout human history, this is exactly how men had to live their lives. Do you think that the teenagers storming the beaches of Normandy felt like crying? Of course they did. But they also knew that that wasn't the correct thing for them to do. They had a duty to commit to, they had an honor, and they did what they were supposed to do regardless of how they felt. That is the mark of a man. Weakness and absolute submission to your feelings are not the hallmarks of men. It's not the way society has ever been built. It's never been built off the backs of men who are crying their eyes out because they felt like crying. The only kind of men who advocate crime are the kind of men who do not have enough self-control to prevent themselves from crying. Because we're all human. There's times in your life, as a man, you're going to feel like crying. It's going to happen. But what you're supposed to do is not cry. So when you feel like crying, you ensure you do not cry. And you act appropriately as a man should. The men who say no succumb instantly to your emotions are the kind of people who have no self-control. And let me tell you something about men who have no self-control. Men who live without self-control are the kind of men who cry when their girlfriend cheats on them, because she certainly does, because she doesn't respect a little crybaby, and she's only with you because she's ugly as fuck and she has to settle for a little soy boy pussy like you. And these guys sitting there, what they're trying to do by telling you to cry is drag you down to their level. They look at people like me, and I say, Ross, that's a big G. He's out there, he's fucking women, he's got his land, he's multi-millionaire, self-made, 6'5", 6'4", 4-time kickboxing world champion, chess genius. I don't like the way he's living his life because he's kicking too much ass. You need to cry more. He's trying to drag me down to his level so I can be a little crybaby like him. And he wants everyone else who reads his tweets to be a crybaby too, because the more little weaklings he can create, the less bad he'll feel about himself. No man wants to be a little crybaby if they're honest with themselves, and no woman certainly wants to fuck a little crybaby. So don't listen to the advice of people who are living lives you wouldn't want to live. What's actually interesting is, I always use this analogy.
If you could build yourself from the ground up, if you could literally just, like from a video game, just tick characteristic boxes and build yourself, nobody would choose to be a liberal soy boy. Nobody would choose to be a small, weak guy who has to cry when he gets upset. Everyone, when they get that application form from God saying build yourself for your next life, would tick tall, strong, smart, mentally tough, doesn't cry, gets pussy, rich. They tick all the things they tell me I'm bad, all the assets I have, everything that I am, they tell me is bad. But if they had the choice to have these things instantly, they would sign up. And the reason they don't have these things is because all of these things come with hard work. To be physically strong, you have to work out, that's difficult. To be financially independent, you have to be smart, that's difficult. So they don't have these things because they're hard for them to acquire, but if they're very easy for them to acquire, they have them all. Nobody wants to be a crybaby. The mark of being a real man is not being a crybaby. The mark of a real man is walking down the street, 5 guys with knives coming up to try and rape your girlfriend, and you look at them in the face and saying, fuck you. It's not crumbling into a ball, crying your eyes out and say, I have emotions too. That just makes you a bitch. Bottles of water for drinking. If you're thirsty, you're dehydrated. I have this thing where if I bottles of water for drinking. If you're thirsty, you're dehydrated. I have this thing where if I find myself thirsty and dehydrated, what I do is I drink the whole bottle at once. And the reason I do this is to rehydrate. Because the reason I'm thirsty is because I'm dehydrated. I don't understand full-grown men who get thirsty, get their little bottle of water, their Evian, like some kind of fucking status symbol. Like, ooh, look at Evian. Ooh. Have a sip, and then walk around with it for another 45 minutes. Another sip, walk around, another sip. I thought you were thirsty. I thought you were dehydrated. Hydrated. Boom, 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 bang, done. Hydrated, fucking objective complete. I'm walking around with it as a fucking fashion symbol for it. And I know this seems like a pet peeve.
Parable.
Yes, it is. But I don't understand. You are thirsty, and you want to hydrate your body. You can complete that task in 3 seconds. Next time you're thirsty, you buy a bottle of water. Drink the water and throw the bottle away. Why are you walking around with the bottle? You need your hands free. What if you have to punch a dude in the face? What if you're not calling back ready? Walk around with a fucking doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. It's pointless. A little sip here, a little sip there. I don't understand the point. Complete the objective. That's what life is about. Get rich. Fuck the girl. Fucking take the hill. Conquer the mountain. Complete the objective. The objective is to rehydrate. Objective complete in 3 seconds flat. I ain't walking around with a little fucking bottle of water, sipping away like a little douchebag. It's bullshit. Bet most you motherfuckers do this. You're gonna catch yourself doing it now. You've watched this video now. Change your brain. Next time you buy water, you have to sip. And then like 3 minutes later, you see, I'm still holding this water. I thought I was thirsty. And eventually you're gonna end up like me. Me and Tristan walk in the store, 2 bottles of water, didn't pay for them, throw them away in the store, walk out. Done. Water objective complete. We're finished. We ain't walk around with shit. And you're gonna find yourself doing it like I do. And you know what? People look at me weird. Like, what the fuck? Why is he drinking all that water? Because I'm thirsty. That's why I fucking boil it. Dumbass. Fuck, the fuck's wrong with people? So me and Tristan walk in the store. Bang. 2 waters, 2 beers. Gone. Out. Don't be walking around with that as a water shit, sipping away because it's feminine bullshit.
나 웃기고 진짜. 아, 저 왜 이렇게 웃기냐 진짜. 아. 아, 진짜 너무 웃긴 것 같아, 진짜.
Everyone's talking about generational wealth. All these dorks, these nerds and their little e-commerce platforms. Generational wealth. I'm gonna do it for my kids. Hustle for my kids. Sell them their fucking ebooks. Nerds! But these worms are constantly talking about generational wealth, and they think it makes them sound smart, but they sound like morons. This whole idea of generational wealth is something that's been propagated by like all the rappers and crap. You know, like all the rappers that make a bit of money and they want to be like those wealthy white guys. So like, it's all about the generational wealth. And then basically what they do is they just become tight-fisted, stingy. They just don't want to spend any money. I talk about, I'm going to do it for my kids. Let me tell you something. The worst thing you can possibly do for your kids is make them grow up rich. That's the worst thing you can do. I was raised poor, I made all my own money, and I hope I spend it all before I die. And my son can fucking make it himself. Because all of life's important lessons come from being broke. The best things you can hope for a head start as a child are good parents and no money. If you have those two things, you're going to be all right. If you're born rich, you have no appreciation for anything, no appreciation for hard work, and you're always going to be, to some level, a dickhead. I've never met someone go, oh, he's a really nice person. Well, he was born rich, that's why. Never, ever, ever. They're always worms. So the whole goal of generational wealth is stupid anyway. You don't want your kids to have generational wealth. You're just saying it to try and sound cool. What's more annoying about these guys, these Twitter guru e-com nerds, is all they talk about is saving money. They're so cheap. These people are cheap. And hey, you can do this instead. Save $1 here. Why go out tonight when you can stay home? Oh, thanks for the advice. Thanks for the fantastic financial advice. Why go out and have fun when you can stay home? No one's ever thought of that. It's called living your life, worms. You cannot save yourself rich. You have to earn yourself rich. You have to find a way to make more money. Stopping yourself from spending money is never going to make you rich. If you're making, let's say you have a really good job that pays you $5 grand a month. Even if you manage to go to work, eat, sleep, live for completely free and save 100% of your wages, it's still going to take you years to buy one of my cars. Let alone the rest of the cars. You've been working your whole life and never owned my cars. It's bullshit. You can't do that. You have to earn more. You cannot save yourself rich. That whole idea is just asinine. If someone comes to me and goes, how do I get rich? I say, well, I can tell you how to get rich. Buy my book. And the book says, don't buy coffee. It's stupid. So all these guys are super cheap. Asinine. If someone comes to me and goes, how do I get rich? I say, well, I can tell you how to get rich. Buy my book. The book says, don't buy coffee. It's stupid. So all these guys are super cheap. A lot of them comment on my posts. They see me in the club. I spend $10,000 on champagne. I'm flexing on the broke boys. And they'll say, well, what a waste of money, or you could have done this, you could have done that, could have invested, da-da-da. All these generational wealth dorks don't even truly understand the point of money. The point of money is a tool to get you what you need. So next time you see some nerd on Twitter talking generational wealth while being cheap, refusing to buy coffee, has no influence or power, isn't known or respected in his local community, and is sitting at home saving pennies so that he hopes his son doesn't have to do any real work at a later date, you know he is a geek.
I don't like being questioned. As a man, I don't get questioned.
Broke boys have a lot of stupid sayings. Broke boys say dumb shit. When you get rich, you realize that broke boys say dumb shit. Like, oh, he's rich, but I'm happy. So what, you can't be both? Who said you can't be both? Like, only a broke boy would sit there and say, oh, he's rich, but I bet he's not happy. Why? Why would you bet he's not happy? Because he has more money than you? Why? I mean, sure, he may not definitely be happy. I'm not saying money makes him happy, but maybe he is happy. And maybe he has money on top. You need to accept that some people have a loving family and a good life plus money. So they say, oh, I'm poor, but I got a good family. So is he. Well, not all rich people are happy, but not all rich people are sad. Broke boys say dumb things. But the most stupid thing broke boys say is, all our graves are the same size, be humble. That is the most bullshit thing that broke boys say. And it's bullshit for the following reasons. One, it's false. Have you been to Egypt? Have you seen the pyramids? Those are graves. That's a gravestone. It was the biggest building, the tallest building in human history for 4,000 years. He was not a broke boy. He was a very rich person. He built the pyramids. It's not true. Secondly, you go to any normal graveyard, you see bigger graves and smaller graves. Like, it's not even true. It's stupid. 1. 2. Another reason I don't like that thing is because it's basically saying, don't achieve anything with your life, you're going to die anyway.
Our graves are the same size. You don't need that Lambo. Be humble. Our graves are the same size.
What? Do absolutely nothing with my life because one day I'm going to die? Sit around and be like you, a broke boy, because one day I'm going to die? That's the most pathetic justification. I'm on flexing on the broke boys, cars, money, champagne. There's always one broke boy.
Our graves are the same.
What? What does that have to do? Our graves being the same size, although it's false, because I guarantee I'll have a bigger grave than you. Not that it matters, but I'll do it anyway. Flex on you in my death for eternity. Great. What does that have to do? Our graves being the same size, although it's false, because I guarantee I'll have a bigger grave than you. 1. Not that it matters, but I'll do it anyway, just to flex on you in my death for eternity. Blessed be with thy flex. Even though it's false, let's assume it was true. What does that have to do with me being in the club, with the Lambo out front, with the champagne, being big and strong and sexy as... What does my grave size have to do with any of that? Nothing! I'm still a G, and you're still a broke boy. I hate when broke boys come at me with their bullshit wisdom, because no one cares what broke boys think. That's the whole point. You're a broke boy. What you think doesn't matter. When you're rich, what you think matters. When you're a broke boy, what you think doesn't matter. So you're going to walk around talking about graves are the same size. You sound like a geek. What you need to do is stop spouting fallacy. Get to work.
Sorry. Give me 2 minutes.
A lot of people ask me fighting questions. And fair enough, I don't fight anymore. I did retire from fighting when I was very young. I'm 31 years of age. I started kickboxing when I was 17. I was world champion at 23. I became 4 times world champion. I retired from fighting at 28. I then came back to the ring, and I got a really bad poke in the eye, which is a very annoying way to end a career at the age of 30. So this should have been no contest. This thing I lost, whatever. And I'm still considering fighting again. So people ask me a lot of fight questions. I was an exceptionally good fighter.
Good shot there for a take!
Fighting is a very difficult thing to learn because you have to reprogram your basic instincts. The human instinct to how to fight is incorrect. You lift your head up and you swing with your hands down, get power, and everything you do instinctually is completely wrong. So it's very difficult to reprogram your instincts on something, especially in fighting, because fighting happens very quickly. It's very savage, it's very fast. But when people do say to me, how to learn to fight, I say, well, a few things. 1, you don't just learn to fight. It's not like, it's not learning how to fucking flip a coin. It's something you have to train constantly. And the second you stop training, your reactions slow down X amount. Secondly, to be able to fight effectively, you also have to be strong, you also have to be fit. There's a whole bunch of other things you have to do. Getting strong and fit, fine. To be a fighter, you have to be strong and fit, plus learn a bunch of shit. So it's not easy. But people often say, well, what martial arts should I learn? I'm going to answer that question. If you want to learn to fight, be a boxer. This is coming from a kickboxer. I'm a kickboxer. And even I know that as amazing as my kicks are, they're pretty much useless in most cases of the street. I mean, in a club, I can't really kick.
If I have jeans on, I can't really kick. If I slip on grass, it's a big mistake. I probably wouldn't kick in a street fight. It's happened 1 or 2 times to the groin, but in general, I don't kick. I use my hands and I win effectively. Boxing is the best for this reason. People always come at me with, what about wrestling or BJJ? Newsflash, BJJ is fucking useless outside of the cage. And when I say this, a whole bunch of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu players get triggered. I start going, oh, you've never messed with a BJJ guy. Actually wrong. If you look at my career, I've been in the cage 6 times. I broke my hand in 2 of those fights. That's why I stopped cage fighting and continued with kickboxing. I fought Luke Barnett, who's in the UFC. I've won by knockout many times in the cage. So I understand Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I fought against Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu professionally. But I'm telling you, for the street, for self-defense, do not waste your time with BJJ or wrestling. And here's why. The number 1 rule of the street is do not go to the ground. You don't know if your opponent has a weapon, like a knife. You don't know if he has a friend who's going to come along and kick you in the face. You don't know if police are going to turn up. You don't know the whole big corner, all of his friends will be running around the corner. You need to be on your feet at all times, ready to run, to preserve your life. Rolling around on the floor with some guy is not a good idea. For the reasons I named plus more. Secondly, a lot of these BJJ moves are ineffective against the rules of the street. Yeah, a triangle choke works in the cage. These other things aren't going to work. They're pick up a rock and smash you around the head with it. You try triangle choke a dude when he can pick you up and slam you on concrete, not an octagon. When he body slams your head on concrete, you tell me how you're going to get away with that triangle choke without taking damage yourself. It's bullshit. All of it's ineffective on the street. And the most important thing, this is the most crazy thing of all, when's the last time you've ever seen a fair fight on the street? Ever. I've been in my fair share of street fights. I live in Eastern Europe. I live in a dangerous place. I've been to 60 countries. I'm telling you, I've never seen a fair fight. Every time I was in a fight, I was against multiple opponents. As a striker, as a combatant who can strike, I can deal with multiple opponents. Let me tell you something. You can get the best BJJ player in the world. If he's fighting 2 guys, he's going to lose. Because as soon as he tries to grab one up, the other guy's going to jump on his fucking face. So who cares how good you are at fucking this kind of choke out? If you're going to get fucking grounded and pounded or head stomp and beaten up. Rules of street fights. Stay on your feet. Use your hands and be ready to go from attacking to running for your life at the drop of a hat. This is the advice I give you. You want to learn to fight in the street? Box. Do not fuck around with BJJ or wrestling, because we tell you something, it's a waste of fucking time. Anyone who thinks I'm wrong, I'll challenge you to follow it. Any BJJ guy in the world, no matter how good you are, you come and fight me and my brother at the same time. And I guarantee you're gonna get ass kicked.
아, 진심 너무 웃기다, 진짜.
Look at that. So we own the bus now.
Rupees? How much rupees?
Are there rupees?
Rupees?
Yeah. Ah. So we are the bus then.
We are the boss man!
So we own the bus.
We are the boss.
Bus ready.
Boss during Akira. Nobody likes us.
Nobody likes us. That's us.
Go off stand all the time without touching your own.
Alright. So we're the bus then.
Boss like you.
Bus like Keto. Because it's bus like Keto.
Boss like you. Pretty easy, right? It's only a bus. It's a little ass bus.
It is only a bus.
You don't have to talk to drive.
this one. This is what everyone does in business class. This must be a business class tradition.
Competition Aikido.
Competition Aikido. That was. I don't think it's ever been done before. One leg. One leg. Ah, that's. If it turns, we're fucked.
Why is something else?
James, what does this mean? 2. What does this mean? 1. What does this mean? Thumbs up. What does thumbs up mean? Good, well done. This is Andrew Tate, kickboxing world champion, multi-millionaire, all around nice guy, lord of all beasts of the land, fishes of the sea. And I am distraught and very concerned with the fact that in 2019, where we've been to the moon, we have international space stations, we've mastered global communication, we can instantaneously, via video, speak to people on the other side of the earth. And yet there are still human beings alive today who count to 3 with their fingers, using their thumb. 1, 2, 3. I've seen full-grown adults do this. Now everyone with a brain understands correctly count to 3 is 1, 2, 3.
얘가
James just proved my point. Unscripted, unprompted. This means what? Andrew, how many times have you fucked my girlfriend?
그러니까
Once.
개그맨이
Andrew,
아닌데.
how many times? Twice. Andrew, how many times have you fucked my girlfriend? What does that mean?
얘는 그냥 개그맨이야.
Good, you mean good. Ask you how many times you fucked her. That doesn't mean 1. If this doesn't mean 1, then this can't be 1, 2, 3. That's a logic thing. This is 1, 2, 3. This is not 1, 2, 3. And I've seen this happen. I've seen it. I first noticed this a long time ago.
진짜로 웃게
Very
만드네.
recent history, I know about it in the last hour or so. I saw a full-grown adult, an adult who's allowed to drive a car, vote, and have an opinion, do that. How can you be allowed to have an opinion on the real world or drive an automobile when you go 1, 2, 3? It is does this not offend you, James? No, if you saw someone go 1, 2, 3, you would be offended. This doesn't offend you. Look at this. Look at this. It stinks of ineptitude. Ineptitude. That's what this is. I guarantee every car crash that's ever happened in the history of humankind, if you were to go back and find every single person who was too stupid to crash a car and ask them to count to 3 on their fingers, they would do it like this. Every single one. Nobody who counts to 3 on their fingers correctly, 1, 2, 3, has ever crashed a car.
그냥
I invite
개그맨이야.
somebody out there to do this study. Crashing cars is morons. Like people say it all the time. You drive cars, you drive crazy, and they're so fast. Are you going to crash? Well, no. I'm not an idiot. How can I crash a car? If there's something in front of me, I stop. And if there isn't, I go. Is that complicated? How can you confuse that? Oh, there's something in front of me, I'll keep going. These people crash cars. I'm convinced now that these people are the worst people in the world. I'm not racist, I'm not sexist, I don't care what color your skin is, I don't care if you're a man or a woman. From now on, I judge people purely on how they count to 3 on their fingers. When I go through life, I'm going to meet you. Doesn't matter if it's a job interview, a business transaction, doesn't matter if you're a hot chick, and I say, excuse me, do me a favor, count to 3 on your fingers. And they'll go, what? Just count to 3 on your fingers. Count. And they'll go, 1, 2, 3. But they sit there. I don't give a shit who you are. You sit there and with this shit,
아 진짜 너무 웃겨. 아 진짜 너무 웃겨. 그래. 다른 사람도 웃긴가 보네. 아하.
Okay, we'll just remind you some more time in a minute. Give me 2 minutes, I'll find it.
You believe in the most dangerous man in the world, Lucy?
I only have notes worth 30 euros each. He wants to do this.
Yeah. That looks fun. What else he needs 30 euro on?
The driver's here.
Yeah. And he's our driver. Tristan.
I like Bones. I can tell already this is my kind of country. In every single hotel you go to, the minibar has a variation of snacks, drinks, some Pringles, some orange juice. Let me show you what you get in the junior suite at the Hotel Europe in Minsk, Belarus. You get, okay, one mixer, a small bottle of apple juice. You get a whole bottle of Jameson whiskey, a whole bottle of Jack Daniels whiskey, a whole bottle of cognac,
What?
a single measure of tequila,
그게 진짜야?
wine, and 2 waters.
Wait. That doesn't add up.
So there's,
It's supposed to be 1 to 1.
it doesn't add up to you. See, I feel at home here. I feel like the Belarusians understand my needs, my boozy needs.
Tristan.
Yeah, 1 apple juice for the morning for
It
breakfast,
doesn't make sense.
wine for lunch, 2 bottles of whiskey for dinner, cognac tequila for
No, I
supper.
haven't done the math. It doesn't add up. There's more whiskey than there is apple.
And you talk to your cousin. What's his problem with this minibar setup? I like it. There's certainly enough booze.
But you have to order more apple juice to.
Order more apple juice. They didn't have many apples. What the?
This doesn't make sense.
What?
Even with the waters don't equal the total volume
The
of.
sun is shining. I look outside and see the sunshine. Tell me you don't feel like necking after all of this
I know. I don't care how much sunshine there is.
sunshine. You don't want any whiskey at all.
No.
Not a little bit.
No, zero. I love water. And soup. Some nice soup.
That kid you hang out with.
He's your cup.
Nothing to do with me.
All includes traditional Belarusian food.
Nice.
We're in Belarus. Can't we just have some nice Belarusian food?
Yeah, exactly.
Follow the clues, guys. I think if we work together, we can find it.
Starting to get. We are getting close, aren't we?
Burger King.
Go kart. I think we're going the right way.
Oh, genius. I want Burger King. I want some people to Belarusian.
Yeah, Burger King.
We'll find it.
We're getting closer. I can sense it. It is cold.
Yeah. We're ready for our 200 degrees.
Nice.
We don't care.
I assume so. So just scared of Burger King.
No, I'm saying.
No.
Look at it. It looks nice.
Andrew, we heard of it, didn't we?
It's Belarusian. We can go there and eat food that isn't burgers.
So you scared of Burger King.
I'm scared of fucking Burger King.
So are you just wait?
Do you want Burger King? Yes or no?
Fucking days I've been in Minsk. I've had Burger King, Taco Bell, McDonald's, stop eating shit. It's not even on the fucking bill. It's when you go to a restaurant. It's
Why is Taco Bell shit?
That's like scarecrow to me.
Are you the lion or the scarecrow?
There's the Tin Man.
You go and eat in a Belarus.
You make your door.
I'm not fucking man. I'll go by my fucking self and eat by myself. I'm sick of you two cunts. You're all stupid fucking.
I still think we should go to Burger King.
Andrew, I thought you ordered espressos. I distinctly heard you ordering espressos. Tristan, what did you do? I spoke to the guy. You start drinking at 9 a.m. It's now 2 a.m.
Yes.
Cheers, Andrew. Cheers, sir.
But nobody wants the booze.
Hey, losers.
Now it's just booze
What is
and booze.
this? Cheers.
The tea was good.
The tea.
Yes, the tea. What are you doing?
I am Ric Flair. Excuse me. Jameson.
I don't know who Ric Flair is.
You do? Andrew, talk to your cousin. He doesn't know who Ric Flair is.
You don't know who the champagne drinking, jet flying,
Limousine riding, diamond ring wearer.
heavyweight champion of the world is.
Well, I mean, I didn't.
Woo! I'm having a hard time keeping these alligators down.
And I'm having a hard time holding these alligators up.
Woo! See this?
I just a nice ring.
No, my hotel room was broken into. I've been noticing my hotel room was broken into. And I know who broke into it. You know who broke into my hotel room?
No.
Fucking Andrew. I gave Andrew the key, and he broke the door.
벨라루스는 다르네.
Yeah, I came back for this.
러시아 말 안 쓰네.
Jameson.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good. So, Andrew broke my door.
I broke in because what happened was
The key was working, and you tried to force the door open, and you thought it was
died.
you somehow thought the door would just swing open.
No,
It did. It did swing
It
open.
just swung open.
It did
It
swing
didn't
open.
work, so I thought, fuck this. And I went and punched it and busted the door. I was going to go get the key.
Well, I just had to pack all my stuff in. They're moving my bags. Apparently, the room is an upgrade, but these were the best suites available when I first booked this hotel.
Listen, mate. You better hope the key works in the next room. My minute when it punches reloaded.
It's reloaded by now.
I'll play it.
Please don't start this game. I'll kick your door.
What's up with you fucking? What's up with you fucking work? I'm sure you. Here's the thing is this. You have things in your room. I've been wearing the same clothes for 4 days. I don't have any stuff. I'm on the universe. All my things are on the blockchain.
CZ.
You're clean, sir. With your nice big coat, your different clothes.
I hope they downgrade
your
you.
suit.
I hope the huge downgrade.
I can't believe you didn't expect me to do exactly that. He ain't working.
Shame you're closer to me now, closer to my room. I got thoughts. Tristan's on the same floor as me.
Good. Ricky Martin.
I know.
Well, Jameson, they do what we want to walk.
Yeah.
She knows
She
me.
fucked me.
She knows me. If someone knows me by now. I'm just Jameson is here, so that's why I'm back. Let's see something.
Come on, Upgrade. It's gonna be a shit room. You're a shit monster.
I hope it's a super downgrade. They must hate us.
Don't worry, people.
They-
Oh, nice. Thanks, Andrew.
Wait, what the fuck? This is bigger than my fucking
Thanks,
room.
Andrew.
This is bigger. This is big.
This was in the presidential suite. It was unavailable when I booked it, but we've been here 2 nights.
This is a very important question coming next with Super Chat. Because Tig's on the panel. I'm not making digs. I honestly mean this. Tig, how tall are you in feet and inches?
You motherfuckers on 5 foot.
I know, but how tall are you actually? Because this question's about height.
What are you, a cop? You're asking me all these questions. My profile was this. I'm 5'9".
Hey, Andrew. I get height insecurity. I'm 5'5". I'm 18. I hate it. I feel I'm disrespected all the time. I can't control this. Is limb lengthening surgery the only option? Right. I'm gonna chime in for a second. Then I'm gonna chime in. Then I'm gonna tag Tig in afterwards. Let me tell you something about being the man. Tig is the man. He's 5'9". I've never once asked Tig his height ever until just now because your question popped up. You ever thrown hands with Tig? He'll punch you in the face. Doesn't matter if you're 6'4" like I am. He will hit you square in the face. You'll sit and have conversations. He'll intellectually outwit you and everyone at the table about certain subjects. Height is one of the coping mechanisms that short losers use when they want to justify being a loser. Oh, I'm 5'5", do I need to be taller because of... You think I have what I have because of height? And I know it's very easy as a 6'4" person to say that. That's why I'm bringing this up. Because I've never thought about Tig's height. If someone were to say, describe Tig, I would name 10 or 20 positive attributes that he has. I would never say, well, he's 5'9", he's shorter than me. So this guy's got height insecurity and wants limb lengthening surgery. Tig, what do you say?
All right, listen to me, Short Kings. First of all, you got so many other things going wrong right now in your life. Probably your height has nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
I understand some chicks are going to be like, oh, you got this 6 foot. I want this, I want that, I want this. But how many other things in your life are you actually fixing? And I'm a big proponent, obviously, combat arts, pushing boxing, becoming the best self you can, because it's such a good medium to actually grow your human potential. But I always tell people, become more than a boxer. Don't just be the guy going to the gym. Don't just be the guy that's really good at fighting. Don't just walk around sizing dudes up. Become more than just a boxer. Get your health right. Get your ability to fight right, absolutely. But get your right brothers around you. Start learning how to make money. Start surrounding yourself with that. And the females will come, bro. It has nothing to do with your height.
If you have a disadvantage, no matter what it is,
We all have disadvantages.
we all have disadvantages.
Including me.
Tristan's got a tiny.
Well, Justin's gay for looking.
I'm Peter Gazer. If you've got a disadvantage, no matter what it is, all it should do is inspire you and push you to work even harder. I'm sitting here online saying you need to become a charming, smart, interesting, rich man. And you're saying, well, I'm short. And my answer would be, well, then it's even more important that you become a charming, interesting, rich, smart man. It's even more important. No matter what if you're ugly, it's very important you become a charming, rich, smart. It doesn't matter what the disadvantage is. The right move to make is always the right move to make. And if you're going to self-obsess over it, then girls are going to obsess over it. You need to stop thinking about it. Stop worrying about it. You need to try and be your best self. Work your ass off, and I guarantee you get your entire life in order. Nobody's going to be judging you purely based on your height because you're too important. How tall is fucking Jeff Bezos? I don't even know.
Mike Tyson's shorter than me.
Stands on his wallet, bro.
Yeah, who cares? We don't know how tall these people are. They run the world.
Yeah, maybe you do have a disadvantage. But, bro, if you can flip it and fix everything else, you go from being short, the biggest man you can possibly be, if you just flip your relationship with the subject, man, and handle everything else.
Justin is, in fact, a ginger. I don't know a single woman who's ever looked at him and said, no, he's ginger. I don't know one. I've never met him.
I think what Andrew super means, actually, is don't let that one little surgery get in the way of doing the work you're supposed to do. Because if you're go from 5'9", 5'8", or excuse me, 5'5" to 5'8", it's not going to change the fact that you're going to have to do the work.
It's not going to fix nothing.
Right. And this is a particularly interesting example. I'm not sure, I have no idea, but let's say you have limb lengthening surgery and it fucks your skeleton up and you can't ever, let's say, box.
So surgeries do go wrong.
They do.
Then then you can't take a low kick without getting your leg snapped like a twig. Was it worth it? What for? What? Who? Some chick? Some girl?
From now on, for Tate Brothers Vlog, I'm going to mix the old and latest videos. So today I brought the latest videos of Tate Brothers. If you enjoyed the video, put a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe.
Yeah, baby. Shotgun.
I've been internet shopping for ages. And I've bought everything. I've bought everything. I bought things for girls. There's no girl who deserves it, but they're just beautiful items. Shoes and diamond APs and handbags. And I bought myself loads of stuff. There's nothing to buy. I've spent $1 million online on board. Yesterday I bought a 1972 gold Cartier vintage cigarette lighter. We're just buying stuff because we're stuck on house arrest. And you know the worst thing? We can't spend more money than we make from our house. Got a conundrum. What was our biggest impulse purchase ever? Impulse? In terms of like, see it, buy it? Yeah. Rolls Royce. Was it the Rolls Royce? That was our biggest. We walked past the window and we were signing papers 10 minutes later. That was $500,000. That was our biggest impulse. Everything else, we at least thought about it, thought I want this, should we buy it? Rolls Royce, we were walking down the street on our way to get coffee. Audi.
Oh, they are super expensive.
You have every other car. What else can the fuck buy? You have every other Rolls Royce. Alright.
No, what? No. Can't just buy rolls.
No roll, my friend. Cheers. Thank you very much. I hope one day we doesn't bring the book rest. We're waiting for you. We're waiting for you. We send an impulse text message. A, B, or C? A for Aston. Fine. Luca, Aston Martin.
What was B and C?
Good question.
So you're thinking of buying that Aston Martin, I think, the new one.
Message it. We'll see. I don't think we'll end up buying another car. We really don't need another car at this point.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Wonderful, as always.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Just fine.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your inquiry about the 3 cars. I think at the moment we are at 3, Valhalla, DB12 and DBS Superleggera. I share the display with you.
Born ready.
We are starting with the DB12.
It's beautiful. Yeah, so I've watched a little bit about this online. Obviously it's not as fast as the DBS though, is it?
Alright, then we are finished. I'll show you a video again on the beautiful DB12.
I had to find some time to drive all these cars.
Yeah.
Just buy them and they just sit stationary.
Cars gonna have to move it for me. Because what happens if you set out?
Steering is hard.
Okay.
People always ask me about health foods and supplements. Tristan, what supplements do you take? You're built like a tank. I know. But there's one affordable tip I have for everybody at home for staying in great shape. That's plenty of vitamin C. By vitamin C, of course, I'm talking about caviar. Now, caviar fits about anybody's budget. A tin like this should cost you no more than $1,000. 5 or 6 spoonfuls of this per day. It's my secret for unlimited power.
Tristan was right. Garlic baked rolls and caviar. So when you're from the street, you got the garlic baked rolls. Then you get rich and buy loads of caviar all the time because it costs lots of